What's going on, Jerome's? So, raw, real garage rant. The garage is still messy. It is what it is. But trying to speak directly to Kirk Jerome Ezekiel Cousins. So, someone want to send him the link? We're good to go. Actually, I'm pretty sure I have Kirk's phone number. It's a long story. Anyways, but Kirk Cousins has a major decision this offseason, free agency. He's the key domino, and when he falls, it's going to change potentially the fortunes of the Vikings and also their direction. Same thing with other teams out there. And Kirk, I mean, respect. Like, he's played out his contract. He's playing at a high level before he popped his Achilles. 2022, tied for the NFL record for most fourth quarter overtime come from behind game-winning drives, etc. And also, he played well in the wild card game, despite what people say about 4th and 8. Watch the whole game. Apparently, defense matters sometimes. Anyways, but now Kirk, 35 years young, going to be 36 in August, coming off that torn Achilles. He's still playing at a high level, and you haven't seen the precipitous drop-off at his age like you saw with Russell Wilson, like you saw with Matt Ryan especially, like you saw with Phillip Rivers. But Kirk has some good football left in him, and hey, Kirk right here. Right here. Now, Kirk, you do have this reputation for being money grubbing and taking every single nickel available, whether that's your time in Washington, 2 straight franchise tags. Although, it's really weird. Daniel Snyder threw big money at everyone except for you, bro. Like Hainsworth, Adam Archuleta, 97-year-old Bruce Smith, Kirk Cousins, but here, you signed that record-setting 3-year, $84 million deal, then the 2-year, $66 million extension, then the 1-year, $35 million Band-Aid. And now you're at loggerheads with the Vikings and potentially looking at free agency, see what happens in March. And I think that you're going to get significant offers in free agency. But you've said before, it's not so much the money, it's what the money represents. It represents a commitment. So you're looking for multiple years. You're looking for guarantees deep into that contract, 2-3 years down the line. I get it. Fully understand that. But at a certain point, you got to start thinking about legacy. And even though the last couple of years, you've had an amazing image makeover, your role in the quarterback documentary certainly helps. Kirko Chains definitely helps. And the whole Cole's Cash dad joke, leaning in, aw shucks thing, it certainly works. I think that in terms of most endearing players in the NFL, you're probably top 10. I would certainly put it there. And with the Vikings, you were seen as the money-hungry mercenary coming in after that 2017 season. Oh, people love Keenum. Oh, people love Teddy, right? And you're supposed to be that missing piece. And your first 2.5 seasons, you were seen as the guy who takes up all the salary cap space and isn't earning his paycheck and all that stuff. And it was awkward in the locker room because there was a lot of veteran leadership, and it took a while for you to really take over as the leader of this team. I would say that it probably didn't really happen until 2021. So that's something you have to factor in, where the Vikings probably have a standing offer on the table. It's up to X number of years. It's up to X number of dollars. And you're going to see what happens in March. And teams could come out of the woodwork. You look at the Raiders. You look at the Steelers. You look at the Patriots. You look at the Falcons. You have teams that are going to come out and try and throw big-time money at you because they feel like they're you away from winning a Super Bowl. Hell, maybe San Francisco. Who knows? But thinking about legacy, do you want to stay here in Minnesota, where you've had great success with Kevin O'Connell the last couple of years? You and him mind meld, going back to your days in Washington. The locker room absolutely loves you. Every single one of your teammates talks glowingly about you, and that's something that money can't buy. Respect is something that money cannot buy. Also, the fact that the wide receiver 1 in the league, Justin freaking Jefferson, goes to bat for you every single opportunity that he can, that matters. Right? And here in Minnesota, you have the weapons with JJ, with Addison, with Hawkinson when he gets back. You have 2 great tackles in Darisaw and O'Neal. And you have a defense with Flores that's only going to be getting better. And, I mean, you saw the value of a good defense this year with Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes is Mahomes, but that defense, hey, how about that D, baby? That's right. The Chiefs' defense won them the Super Bowl. And won them that ride through the playoffs where they won at Buffalo, at Baltimore, and against the Niners at a neutral site. So how much does that cost? How much does that love, respect, as well as chance to win a Super Bowl, by the way? And also, frankly, if you didn't pop your Achilles coming off those performances against the Niners, against Green Bay in Lambeau, I think the Vikings win the division. I don't even think that people hear about the Lions. It would have been a near wrong thing, but I think the Vikings would have had a significant chance to go to the dance this year. Now, how much is that worth? Say just back at envelope map, the Vikings are offering 2 years, $35 million a year, 70 total. Right, so let's just go with that. But could some of these other teams offer you more? Say 3 years, 45 a year, 135, maybe fully guaranteed. So how much more is that respect to you, right? Because the pressure will be on going to these other new teams, even more so if you resign here for big money. If you go to the Steelers, they see themselves as a quarterback away, and with Tomlin looking to get things done. If you go to the Patriots, you're basically the guy after the guy following Tom Brady. Good luck with that. If you go to the Falcons aren't winning a Super Bowl. That's all. That's all I got, man. Raiders, same thing. And if you do have success with them, it's like, oh, well, all right, so the Steelers won another Super Bowl. We have 6. Patriots, oh, we won another Super Bowl. We have 6. Raiders, oh, we won another Super Bowl. We have a bunch. All that. You're not winning Super Bowl with the Falcons. But if you win one here with the Vikings, you will be a demigod. I understand that you'll never have to buy anything at Kohl's ever again with all the Kohl's cash, but you will never buy a skim milk at any establishment or bar here in the great state of Minnesota. And that's what it comes down to. And I think at the end of the day, that's the question you have to ask yourself is like, is it worth a couple extra dollars more? It's just like 2018 when you chose the Vikings 3 years, $84 million versus the Jets 3 years, $90 million. Is the cost of life that matters. And you've established yourself here in Minnesota. Family seems to love it here. And I feel like a significant portion of Vikings fans have come around. Where initially you were seen as the money-grubbing mercenary from out of town. And the last couple of years, it's been your team, man. Now, is that worth a couple extra $1,000,000 in your pocket that you're not going to spend anyway because you're a frugal dude? Basically what it comes down to, do you want your grandkids and your great-great-grandkids to be super lazy? That's what it comes down to, man. But do you want to go to a new city and have all those expectations and also be seen as the money-grubbing mercenary from out of town? We'll see. I personally think that you and the Vikings have something special here. I think that you and the Vikings could certainly win a Super Bowl here within the next 2 years. That defense is improving. You have all the weapons on offense, and you certainly can get things done. And I think that you're still playing at a high level. And hell, even if the Vikings draft a quarterback in the future, who cares? Who cares? I still think that you can get things done here. But the question is, how much is it going to be? And also, you would be revered here if you took the team-friendly deal. And I understand that your market's probably $45, $50 million a year. If you came back here for 35, being like, hey, one last ride, it's not like that's nothing. It's not like after taxes, 17.5 or 18 million bucks is nothing, right? So I do wonder. It's like, hey, come back to the Vikings where you're loved in this locker room, where they have all the weapons. If you leave a little money on the table, maybe they take care of the Neal. You know that if you're back, Jefferson gets his deal done. Maybe leaving a couple extra million allows them to get some more weapons in free agency. Who knows? Who knows, man? But that's all. Again. Right here. Someone forward this to Kirk. That's all. Anyways, you know what to do. Skull, production value.